சரி அப்படி உட்கார் அப்படி உட்கார் வேணாம் இருக்கட்டும். நான் அப்படி உட்காந்துக்கிறேன், ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம். July 10th, 2023 and MS evening session number 1141, a different senior module, pretty much relieved senior module because I need not check on the people, I need not wait for the people. The three members who are going to attend the weekday programs are here, Dakshin Siddharth, Hariharan and Vishwa. So the three members will be attending every single day. There will be a different kind of a program. So I have given the titles of the presentation for all the three members. Vishwa is given a little bit of a breathe time for preparing because he is attending school every day, whereas Dakshin Siddharth and Hariharan have got a little bit of a free face now since the college is pushing the time to a little extra. Like I was given to understand from one of the staff members in MCET that the college for Hariharan is going to start maybe in the first week of August or something. And Dakshin Siddharth has got his own schedule. So the best way of using the time and preparing the individuals, that's what is my mission in this weekday program. So now Dakshin has been given a topic, Hariharan has been given a topic. So before we get on with the activity today, a skit-based activity or something, we will have to go for the presentation. It's been a long time since Dakshin Siddharth has made a presentation. The last presentation he made was back in 2021. And after that, there was a huge gap for him in attending MS evening session. He took a hiatus for his plus two. And now, after almost about, say, close to 200 classes, he is giving a presentation. Hariharan did a very recent presentation. Vishwa also did a recent presentation. So, without taking any further, we'll start with Dakshin Siddharth. He will use this as a podium, and boys are here sitting and listening to him. Yes, Dakshin. You want the mic to be here or there?
There's
Beyond that, okay. One second, let me check the mic. Yeah, you're good to go. 3, 2, 1, start.
So, good evening everyone. So instead of making this as a usual presentation which I've been doing for a long time, I'm going to make it a bit different. Let's do it as an interactive session. So first let me start off with a question for, like, anyone can answer. What separates good people from great people?
Their skills and routines.
Okay.
Perspective, their virtues, and the kind of ethics they have, and most importantly, the long-term vision they have.
Yes, sir.
That's the chronicle of great people, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
Their behaviors.
Okay. In what way? Like, you can give an example.
Think of a cricket player who is going to attend the West Indies Test match that is going to start day after tomorrow. Perhaps, who is the best player in the team?
Sir, sorry sir, I don't know.
You don't know about that. You don't know anything about cricket, Mr.
Sir,
Vishwa?
not sir. I don't know that day after tomorrow they are playing.
Okay, his question is classical. Like, just give an example.
There's no wrong answer. Just say anything.
Behavior na enna behavior?
Sir, like helping others for their அவங்களுக்கு தோணி செய்யறதுக்கும் அவங்க பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு பண்ணணும்.
Okay, fine. That's the answer he's given.
Okay, so the answers that he gave are from different perspectives of your own. My answer, the thing that I personally feel is good people, and that comes under one of the things that Sir said about long-term vision and goals. Good people, they win once or twice. I mean, it's not so hard to win one time or two times. But great people, they keep on winning. They win over a period of time. They don't stop. They never get bored of winning. They never feel like it's enough and they keep going. So great people are consistent, and good people, they have their prime for 1 or 2 times or 1 or 2 years, and then they just fall off. But great people, they maintain the position where they are. So it's, as Sir said, long-term goal. They decide to dominate for a long time. So we talk about those kind of people. In fact, a lot of people are good. They're good at what they do, but great people, they are even better. They have that edge and they know how to keep going. So the key is consistency. So that's something that I want to implement in my college life. I want to be consistent at whatever I'm doing, and seeing great people as examples and how they've set the stage, set the bar for a long time for other people to follow. And good people, they don't inspire. Good people, of course, they're, people admire them, but they are only admired. They're not somebody who's looked upon as an inspirational figure. But great people are looked upon as an inspirational figure, and the next generation tries to follow them. So my goal, on a bird's eye view, is to be great and not just good. I want to be great at whatever I choose to do, and in the coming years, my stream may change, because I want to go into IT, but when I go for MS, my postgraduate studies, my stream may change. I might choose only one stream, like networking or artificial intelligence. Haven't decided upon that yet. But once I choose a stream for me to specialize in, I want to be great at what I do. So I just don't want to be good. I want to be great, and I'm not there yet. I'm going to try, and I feel like college life is the perfect place for you to start trying to be consistent. And college life is so much different from school life, especially for most of the kids, because a lot of kids, they don't get the chance to study in the same city where they live. They have to move out of their city, like mine. Hariharan's lucky though, but I have to go stay in a hostel, and where things are different. So Hariharan, it's a part of my presentation. I want to ask you a question,
Yeah.
because we both are at the same stage, so did you want to, like, when you were growing up, let's say you were in grade 11 or 12, you must have thought about your college life, right? So did you want to be a day scholar, or did you want to be a hostelite?
Day scholars means it's very happy that we can be at home, we can have a free space, whatever we can do. In hostel, it's a new experience for the students, that they should be responsibility, and they should care themselves with the daily routines, and they should be interested to study. In home means they will be just distracting about any devices. In college it may be differ, and anytime the eagle's eye is watching on students in the hostel life.
Okay, so since you're going to be a day scholar, right?
Yeah.
So how will you make sure that you're at pace with the people who are in hostel?
I will be creating a network for me for any studies doubts, and any clarification for my studies and career. I will be fixing my seniors and the professors in my college.
Yeah.
I will be seeking the
And Hariharan has opened up another part of my presentation, keeping in contact with your seniors. That's what you said. Something which you notice among people who are really doing good at life is they have a lot of contacts. They mingle with a lot of people. They don't isolate themselves, because if you keep isolating yourself, then there's something psychologically wrong with you, or you might be pushed into something that's, let me give you an example of Ted Bundy. Have you heard of Ted Bundy, anyone? Yeah, he's a psychological killer.
Somebody from the mental asylum has eloped.
So he's a killer. He's a psychotic killer, and he used to isolate himself in college. He didn't mingle with people, and finally the society didn't treat him well, and he turned into a serial killer, and he's one of the deadliest serial killers of all time.
He was also a case study in
Yes, sir.
many universities as how the adulthood should not be.
Yes, sir. And people who say that he's crazy and he's mad, you just cannot say that, because he studied Asian literature in the United States, and he was an expert in Chinese language. He knew how to use chopsticks, and he was, well educated. So the point of calling him crazy and mad, that doesn't work. So instead of isolating yourself like people who are psychologically affected, you should try to mingle with people. And in college, it's usual. You might be exposed to alcohols and cigarettes, and because your friends may do it, and peer pressure is something that exists in college. But that doesn't mean that you have to keep yourself away, and you should not even talk to those kind of people. As long as you're not getting involved, you can talk to them, you can mingle with them, but only to a certain limit. Okay, don't overdo things and don't underdo things. So that's another thing which I'm, it's my opinion, and it's something that many of my friends have advised me, especially my brother who's in college. He gave me some of these advices, and in this vacation, I talked to him a lot about college life, and he told me all this. So another thing about hostel life, especially, is it's very much different from school, because in Hariharan, let's say you're or Vishwa, you're in school, right? So do you take a bus to school, or
With bus now.
okay, and you come back by bus?
No, but come by walking.
Okay, so let's say your school is far apart and you're coming back home by bus, and you miss the bus. Okay, so what do? You call your parents, right?
Yes, I will call
Everyone.
my parents and
Yeah.
come.
Mm.
I will tell them to come here.
Come and pick you up, and they'll come, obviously. But people who are staying in hostel, you cannot call your parents every time. You have to face your own problems. Yeah, you have to face your own problems, which is something that I've not done over the past few years, because I always had my mom with me. But this time it's going to be different. I have to take on problems on my own, and have to try to face problems on my own, because I'm at a completely new stage right now. It's not school anymore. In school, you have a certain boundary around you, you have a certain protection, but in college it's not the same. You have to struggle a bit more, and you have to learn to be in solitude, and you have to enjoy it, and at the same time you have to keep in contact with your family, which is also very important. Okay, and then you go and you ask him for the belt back, and he'll be like, I gave it to Suresh. And you go to Suresh and he'll be like, I gave it to Jitesh. And finally you go to Jitesh, he'll be like, I didn't get any belt. So that's another thing. You have to share your stuff with some people who you don't even know. I mean, they're random people, right? You have to make them friends, but before that, they're actually strangers. So you have to get to know people well, and that's, I think, a benefit, because you meet a lot of new people, and when you stay with them and you see how they behave, especially in colleges, especially in the streams that we choose. We have chosen computer science, so obviously studious children will.
He belongs to EC.
Oh, he's not from computer
No,
science.
he's not computer. He's into electronics and communication.
Okay, so that's also a great branch. It's
Circuit branch.
Yes, sir.
Basically circuit branch.
Circuit branch. So in those kind of circuits, you obviously have people who come to college only to have fun, but also you have a lot of hardworking kids just like you. So you can learn from them. You can sit down with them, and you can talk with them about your career and their career as well. So when you talk with those people, you realize that they have mapped out their future in a certain way that you didn't even imagine could be possible. Because the students nowadays, they're really sharp, Generation Z for a reason, and they've got their whole career planned out. Where I'll be in the next 2-3 years, what I'll be doing for my masters, and where will I try for my placement, and they all have it planned out. So when you mingle with those kind of people, you learn a lot. And Vishwa has got an opportunity to watch me and Hariharan present here, and because he also must have an idea about his college life. And when we discuss, that's why I made it an interactive session, because when we discuss, then a lot of avenues open up and we can talk more about our future. And for Vishwa, as he's in 12th grade, it might be helpful for him as well. And let's talk about some of the problems that college students face. Number one is time management. It's not school. Even in school, especially in grade 12, it was hectic for me too, but in college life, it's way more hectic, because you have to study a lot of subjects. I have 63 subjects to be studied, and till grade 10 we used to study 8 or 10 subjects, and then when we went to grade 11 and 12, it shortened to 5 or 6 subjects. But now again, you have to study a lot of subjects, and you have to make sure that you pay attention to each and every class, even if it's the electives, because it's going to impact your grades and your CGPA. So you have to give a lot of weightage to each and every subject, and you have to keep working. And I'm not saying that you should not have fun, but at the same time learn to manage your time, and don't waste your time unnecessarily. And it's not something that would be induced into you by others. It should be something that should be felt by you. It should be felt within you. You should know that I'm crossing my limits. I have to cut short the enjoyment which I'm having, and I have to return back to work. And it's not something that others will tell you. especially to people who are my juniors, I'd say that you'll realize it on your own, Vishwa. For you, if you you need not worry too much about your college life. Once you get there, you'll understand it yourself. So just go along with the flow. And another thing is take one thing at a time. That's a very famous thing, a very famous quote, in fact. You have to take one thing at a time. You must not think too much about the future and forget what you're supposed to do, like right now. And you think too much about the future, where I'll be, what should I do in the next 10 years? Oh my god, that's too much. I won't be able to study it. So instead of, like, let's say you're climbing Mount Everest, and you have to watch one step at a time while you're climbing. Okay, you must not immediately look at the top of the mountain and say, oh, I cannot do it. So once you take every step gradually, in no time you'll be there, and you'll be thinking to yourself, and you'll be laughing at yourself for even thinking about giving up. Because initially you'll be like, oh, I can't do it. But once you reach there, you'll be like, I should not have said that, and I should have tried immediately. Because success is guaranteed as long as you try, but it's only the time period that matters. So if you try late, you'll achieve success late, but if you start early, then you'll reach where you want to be before your competitors can be. So and it's also never too late to start. Even when you feel like everything's over, there's still a shining ray of hope when you can again when you feel like everything's over, then you have to put the number 0 in your mind. You have to set your score as 0, which means you have to start from the first again. It's okay, because it's better to start from right from 0 than to start from the middle, because starting from the middle again, it's very difficult. So just reset and go towards whatever you're doing again. So actually the topic for me was how will I keep my goal unwavering, but I wanted to expand it in other people's perspectives as well. So I'm talking not only for myself but for you both seated here as well. And the reason why the word unwavering was used is because college life is also a phase where you get a lot of distractions, and
Other people put your goals
Yes,
down.
sir.
They try to have judgmental attitude about your goal.
So, and that's another thing which college students face. They face stress because of the family expectations of people around them. They just feel like they have let down others. So as long as you don't let yourself down, you have nothing to worry about. Don't care about others. You can keep trying. You may go slow, you may go fast. It's not that success has to be attained as rapidly as possible. You may take some time to let yourself develop, and then you can go for it. But you have to go for it in the end. So just because someone else is doing well and people around you try to compare you with the person who's doing well doesn't mean that you're anything lesser than them. You can definitely, you may take some more time than that person, but you'll be there as well as long as you're trying. So never let yourself be distracted by the people around you or the weight of the expectations on your shoulder. As long your only competition has to be yourself. You have to be better than you were yesterday. That's something that I have to say, because you just have to keep getting better every day. Having a competitive attitude is good, but don't be too much obsessed with others. Be obsessed with yourself in what avenues you can improve. So another question to you, because we have to do this together. So is there something that you want to improve upon that you've not done over the past few years when you were in school, and you want to do something different and improve yourself in college? What is that?
And in my school life, I will not be gelling with anybody. I
Yeah.
just be talking, not gelling with too much. And friendship, I will not be very too friendly with anybody. So in college, it's important gelling with everybody. So I want to gel with them. And whatever the work is given, at a certain period, I want to complete this course.
Okay. So you want to do something different in college? I know there's a lot of time left, but still, have you envisioned your college life? Not yet? But you should start doing it. You should start thinking about your college life as well. Don't obsess too much about it, but you have to have a fixed goal, or you might have a picture of what your college life will look like. That's a therapy as well. You have to picturize your goals, and you have to think that it's already achieved so that you can achieve it in the future. Then you're telling your subconscious mind, you're making it believe that you're going to be there, and automatically you'll get there once you envision it enough and you work towards it. And another thing I want to do is my mainstream is computer science, and I want to improve my coding skills even more. I'm good at coding, but I feel like I can do even better, and that's what something I'm trying to do.
Since when you got the interest towards STEM, computer science? Because you were not very comfortable with using computers, laptops, and all that when you were in the 10th grade. You yourself said in the US batch presentation that you are not very big fan of using the computers. But all of a sudden there was a transition that you have now started to dwell into computer science. Since when? And how did the transition happen?
So until grade 10, I was actually in the middle of grade 10. I got a lot of interest into computers because, like, that was my life. Because of the pandemic, online classes, everything had to be there. So I kind of got used to being around with gadgets, and I also started following a lot of great people in the IT field, and a lot of great entrepreneurs and CEOs, and I wanted to be just like them. So that's why in grade 11 I chose computer. And also I hated biology, sir, because I was really poor at drawing. My drawing skills were not good, and I have missed a lot of physical education classes because of my incomplete record works. And my teacher used to make me sit down in the games block, and she used to make me rub all the drawings and make me draw again. So that's when I started hating biology a lot. And then but in computer science it was good because we had two streams to be chosen. One was computer science and one was physical education. In physical education, mostly it was like they had to go to the ground and they won't play. They'll just do the track and field thing, or they'll study about the human body. That's it. Games were equally given to both the students, so I didn't bother a lot about it. But physical education was different. So when the other students were sitting out in the heat, we used to be coding in, sitting in a air conditioned lab, and we used to be playing. After we're done with coding, we used to play the dinosaur game, right, in Google.
Yes, sir.
Because our systems were not connected to the internet, because they thought we'll misuse it while we're coding. So they disconnected all our laptops, all our computers. But we used to play the dinosaur game all the time. So it was fun during the end of grade 10, especially when the schools reopened. And in grade 11 I chose computer science because I wanted to do something in it. And in grade 11, because look, I chose computer science in grade 9 and 10, and in grade 11 most of the students that came in, they were from physical education. A lot of students were from physical education, so the teachers, we studied Java, and even in grade 9 and 10 we studied Java, and also for grade 11 and 12 we had to study Java for 4 years. So I already had the experience of 2 years. And when the other students came in, our teacher started from the basics. The teacher was new. So I already know all the stuff that they were teaching. So I was getting good grades in the beginning. I was getting centum in every test because they were redoing the stuff which we learned in grade 10 and also some in grade 9. So when you start doing well in something, your interest in it, it brightens more, and you get a bigger spark. So once we moved on to the tougher things, I already had a great momentum and I was able to grasp things well. And as soon as I started to study it, I loved computer science. And also figures around, my uncle is in the IT field, and I also want to, settle in the US, and I want to be in the IT field. I want to go for app development.
So Mr. Nanda was influencer.
He was one of the influencers, sir. And I also want to do something great, and if God permits, I want to become something like the chief executive officer of a company. It's going to be tough, but I'll try to do it. And so since I chose the computer science stream, my interest in computer science, it just expanded.
TC is known for giving a lot of placements, exclusively when you were in the third year of college. Be opting for the placements, or you will be sticking your neck towards MS?
So I think I'll go for MS, sir, because it's been my dream to pursue my masters in the US. So I'll go for masters, or if I have another option, I may work for 1 year and then go for masters as well. But mostly my first option is to go for masters, sir. And because student visa, it's an easier way to get into the US than job, because for job you have to go through a lottery process. Out of 3 lakh applications, only 60,000 will be selected, so it's a lot of it is based on luck. So I think I'd go for a student visa, and then once I get in, I try to get placed there. So this is how I've planned to keep my goals unwavering. And thank you so much for listening. Hope you all enjoyed. And the reason why I wanted to make it interactive is because I didn't want it to be just a presentation. I wanted it to be a discussion where everyone can feel involved. So thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Good job. Very well done, Dakshin. Your presentation has been really improved. No wonder it has improved, because you have got a lot of speaking exposure and you have trained yourself well. We'll speak about that, the feedback of your presentation. We'll speak about that. I'll come to that. Now, Harir,
Eagles right now.
Eagle's Eye by the Warden.
Pretty nice Eagles.
Hi friends, I am today speaking about the discipline to practice to keep the motivation upbeat. I starting my presentation with a small cutie story.
Good story.
The person who has graduated, he has a dream that he want to clear the UPSC exam, and his parents also supported him, and he was well studied, and he was sleeping some 4 hours he was sleeping a day. So he was doing this routine for a year, but after a year he has bored the routine taken by the year. He just getting demotivated in further further months, and that is because of the self discipline. The motivation is motivation, than important thing is this self discipline that gives your self motivation, push you towards your goals that you can achieve. So for the motivation, it's a bigger than track is the self discipline. So I want to give an example for me. I like to drive any vehicles, but whatever I like it, I done more times, and more kilometers I driven, it just boring for me, and I just leave it. So it's a common problem for the people who have doing the great their happiness thing they are doing for some few months after, it will be getting bored. So for that we want to keep it's a good idea. Our trainer has been told vision board, he has been telling before few years, and in that we want to set up a years limit, and we will be setting up the goals that have been going to be achieved, so that can be reacted as a self discipline. And for us increasing the self discipline, we want to should not be reacting to any distractions, that whatever we need in this teenager as a college goer. Many distractions are there in the college, as you mentioned, Dakshin, and in the around ourselves, like PC and the mobile phones and TVs, extra like gadgets. So as we keeping our goals ahead, we should be concentrating on them, and we should be going towards. And for the who are the peoples want to great achieve the success, the many of the peoples having excuses for their events, the excuses should be avoided for their great success. And the second one, law of least resistance. Many of the people will be working 3 or 4 months for one project, and suddenly the weekend will be coming, their mind suddenly turns into the weekend mode. That should not be going, our mind will be just turning to the weekend. That just not be going. We should be turning our mind to the work mode, then only our project will be completing, and we have a great recognition from our working place or the school or colleges. And building your character, that's we are in just a good place for building our character. And
Just a good place. Pardon, sir.
just a good place now. And for building our characters, the choice is the important thing for the leading your building the character. When a person is sleeping for more hour, it make him is lazy. The choice is making him the building his character. So when we think that we can woke up at early morning, it leads to a success, and your characters also according to it will be building that you are waking up at early morning. So set up a priorities that if you have many works, we want to be scheduling it at a sequence that which job is more consuming time, that job should be in the first, and respectively the time should be reducing and as some mind will be as Oxford University, the some research has been done for the nursery students and the primary school students. The peoples are telling the children to draw a diagram with their own creation, and after finishing their diagram, they are giving a golden star. And for few diagrams, they are giving the golden stars. After the progress, they are not giving the golden stars. And the scientists are noticing that our mind is only interested towards the when we are getting any rewards, that time our mind is very enjoyably and interestly they are involving their activities in the whichever activity is not interested for the human. Automatically when the reward is coming for that, the brain automatically switches to the interesting mode and enjoyable. Like we saw in the yesterday's activity, it's just a paper duplicate money, and for all our small boys are getting for money which the activity is playing, it's just for fun, but they are eagerly getting the money as they are getting the real money. So when we are giving the reward for a human for a particular event, a particular job, they will be getting more interested. So when we are doing any job for a long time, we can self rewarding as going get out chill and eating food with families, and just playing with any indoor games or outdoor games. And the replacement activity, that also can be increasing by the self discipline. Nowadays we are using the cell phones and the smartphones as a newspaper. The YouTube channels many has been discovered in the YouTube. So for that it will be very harmfulness for the small children's. The eye will be damaging, and the memory power it will be losing, and they will be lazy, and the reading habit will be completely vanished. So when we reading the newspaper, the pronunciation and the new words they can learn, and the many things they can be learning from the newspapers. This is the replacement for doing as a lazy work, we can be replaced to the smart work. And that's all.
That's it. Good, nice techniques. If you both have any questions towards Ariel's presentation, you can proceed. Any questions?
One second, something.
My question before I know.
So I can add a last point, sir.
Sure, please.
And many of the habits that we are doing, sir, buying a book for reading, sir, watching any motivational video, and we are buying a book and we are not reading. We will be reading a few pages and we leave it, and we will be put it in the cafe or any other place, sir. By reading the full book, our full involvement will be increasing to our mind will be getting involvement for the entire activities.
That's a valid point. My question is, It so happens that since I was a professor in college for many years, at least, I've seen 6 batches going out. Before I became an entrepreneur in 2007, I saw 6 batches going out. And 6 batches in the sense I have seen the first year students 4 or 5 times. Like, what happens is, during the professor phase, what I have got observed is the first 3 months the person will have a lot of, the spirit and the kind of the go-getting attitude and the personal drive. And as time progresses, the assignments, the classwork and the syllabus, the lesson plans, and the faculty members' attitude and their expectations, every tinge of an energy gets drained down and it goes faded out. And what happens is it never recuperates and it never gets back to its original position as these people get to the second year or third year or final year in specific relevance to the engineering. My question is, what would you do if unknowingly you are cognitively conditioned to go into that particular fading out situation? How would you manage?
So as I mentioned this presentation, sir, self-discipline, sir, and I want to I want to think my future version, and I want to plan for the future, and I'll be going further in the future events.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
So that was a good presentation.
Thank you, Diksha.
So I have a school of thought. I just want to let you decide your opinion on it. So personally, you mentioned about a lot of problems that people are facing nowadays, and I feel like the majority of the problems that a lot of people face, especially people in our age, is the problems that we're creating for ourselves. Like, we feel like it's a problem, but when you look at it from a different perspective, you realize that it's not much that big of a problem. Let's say you feel like, I'm not able to study because this place is so bad, and the room is very small, or there's a lot of cars around because your house is near to the road, and a lot of cars go past and come by, and because of the sound you're not able to study. But when you look at another kid who doesn't even have a house to study, he sits under the street lights and studies, and that's when we realize that my problem is nothing compared to his. So a lot of people, there's a school of thought that says that most of the problems that we face is given to ourselves by us. So we should not
Self-inflict.
Yes, sir, self-inflicted. You look at it as a problem, you look at everything as a burden, and that's why it seems like a problem to you. So do you think that it's true? And if you think so, then how do you think it can be overcome?
It's a true thing that if we are in the nursery period, means it will be tough for learning alphabets. So when we matured and we are for a few years after, we'll be easily founding out the alphabets, and we will be easily making a sentence and we can spell out. So that time our in that age, and we can now as replacement we can nowadays we can do as that thinking as we can do it, motivating yourself, and self-discipline is will apply to this problem. And as you mentioned in your presentation, when you look up to Everest mountain, it's a big, and when you step by step you are going, it's just small hill. So we want to change our point of view in another version.
Fantastic. That's a very, very nice answer. Sure. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Very good presentation.
Thank you.
Now you are going to enter your first year college in MCT now. Lakshmana had said he had more subjects to study. I don't know how many subjects for you now. While you are studying, if your friends, your best friends or some people in your college may calls you to enjoy timing, means what will you do now? Like they can call for a movie or to go out with friends like that now. What will you do at that time?
If I have work, I will be finishing off, and I will be going. Or I itself know they will be calling on this day. On that day, I will be earlyly finishing and go. In another case, I will be not going for that, and I will be declining it.
That's a very tactical answer. Very
Yes.
good job.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So the credit rating system report of Dakshin Siddharth and Hariharan will get scaled up this week because of the wonderful presentations that they have done. Vishwa is also given a topic. Vishwa, go back home and see the topic that is given on your name. It was sent on Saturday. So just
Sir,
go
can
to
I
the
do a
Saturday.
presentation on Thursday, sir?
Yeah,
It's Monday today, sir.
today is Monday.
Can I do it on Thursday, sir?
Sure, sure. So you do it on Wednesday or Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, right. Fine. So Hariharan,
Yes.
Vishwa might not be applicable for this question, but you have seen a lot of presentations done by Dakshin Siddharth. And as a college student, Dakshin Siddharth, and as a school student, Dakshin Siddharth, which version of presentation did you like most? And if you had seen some improvement in Dakshin Siddharth, what was the improvement that you have witnessed? And this applies to you also, the same question. Name alone is changed. Instead of
Hariharan.
Dakshin Siddharth, it's Hariharan. Yeah.
So I have seen many of them great peoples will be speaking, sir, in the presentation mode, and most of them will be seeing the podium and they will be speaking as they are mug up, sir. As compared to him, sir, he's just interacting mode and he's as speaking. It's interesting to hear him speaking.
Fantastic. That's right. Good job. That's a nice feedback, and I completely agree with you. So the same question applies to Dakshin Siddharth. You have seen Hariharan making presentation during Vedavarshan Mitra Dakshin Siddharth times, and now it is Vishwa Hariharan Dakshin Siddharth time. So that era and this era. So what is the comparison you are making?
Sir, initially, like, we all enjoyed being with Hariharan, sir, and initially most of the thing that we used to do used to be fun activities, sir.
Correct.
And but I think the most serious presentation I've seen him do was during the online phase, sir. He made a lot of good presentations, but apart from that, I think right now his presentation skill is on another level, sir, because right now I feel like he speaks with more maturity than before. I think that he's showing a lot of experience now, sir, and the only thing is that I would like for him to give more like prophecies,
Life philosophy.
philosophy,
The Hariharan is
prophecies.
the Hariharanisms
Yes, so that's missing right now, but
in the life.
in the life I miss it very much, sir. So a gas cylinder, the life is like a gas
he
cylinder.
uses to come up with a lot of metaphors.
Yes.
You know, when he used to make presentation in 2020 and all that. Right.
So, but on a serious note, those type of metaphors, they were mostly like, they induce fun, sir. But when he's making serious presentations now, he knows not to use them, and he knows what are the right terms to use, and he's got a great presence of mind right now. Because back then, sometimes even without him realizing, even in serious presentations, he used to say those metaphors, but it would be good because it would lighten the mood up. But right now, he's even more professional.
Professional.
And I think the college version of Hariharan is like, he's taken himself to another level, sir, which is great to watch.
Fantastic. That's a nice feedback. Good job. Very well done. In my in my personal opinion, Dakshin Siddharth's improvement has really got into a different hemisphere. He always uses to refer the notes, and when he is referring the notes, he will be spending only a couple of seconds to get the point and explain. But today he did without, as Hariharan rightly pointed out, he did it without notes, and that's a real good thing.
Thank you, sir.
But always, having a cue cards is a very good ethics in presentation. Today you spoke only about yourself, but back in those days you used to speak about technical presentations, and you used to have the notes. So if you want to go back to that mode, you can go back. But if you are comfortable with this mode, you can always do that, right? Yeah. So Vishwa, can you come here now? Come. Vishwa does have a presentation topic, but he's not presenting now. But he's going to answer a couple of questions after my face, or you can even couple up your own questions in between. Vishwa, what is your takeaway from these two people are just 1 year ahead of you?
Yes, sir.
They are plus 2 graduates, and you are into plus 2 now. So in this particular class, barring everything, without anybody else, what did you learn in today with two presentations being made by these two guys?
Sir, I learned that how the college is going, sir. Lakshmana had said many of the things that are going to held in college life, sir. I asked Hariharna a question, sir, that is for me only, sir. I have some friends problems, so only I asked.
Okay, and when Dakshin was asking you what is your vision and what is the envision you have about college life, you don't have a goal right now.
Sir.
So, if there is a person who has to have a goal in MS evening sessions, that's you. Because your father Raja will be really loving the fact that you are having a goal. Why have you not decided anything about your goal?
Sir,
Do you think that it is not going to happen for me, so why think about it?
sir, not like that, sir. I tell I tell to me that I can think afterwards like that.
So you've been postponing it.
Yes, sir.
But the point is you are in the last lap of that race. So let us take it as a light conversation. If I ask you to make a goal bond right now, what would you like to answer? 3 questions. Question number 1, உனக்கு யாராவது லஞ்ச் டைம், பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் டைம், டின்னர் டைம்னு ஞாபகப்படுத்துகிற அளவுக்கு நீ மெய் மறந்து செய்கிற ஏதாவது ஒரு விஷயம் இருக்கா?
மறந்துனா
Some-
கேம் விளையாடுமா சார்?
Somebody else, you see, you are thirsty, you are hungry. Your conscious mind says that you can go quench your thirst, you can go have your food. ஆனாலும் அதை விட்டுட்டு போகிறது மனசு இல்லாத மாதிரி. Somebody has to come and tell me this is lunch time, you got to get up. அப்படின்ற மாதிரி உனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சி செய்கிற விஷயம்.
சார் ஸ்கூல் லாக்டவுன் டைம்ஸில் ஃபோன் பார்ப்பேங்க சார்.
அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒன்றும் இல்லை. அவன் சொன்ன மாதிரி தான் கேம் அப்படிங்கிறது. உனக்கு அதிகப்படியாக கிடைச்ச பாராட்டுக்கள், தி பிக்கஸ்ட் அப்ரிசியேஷன்ஸ் தட் யூ ஹேவ் ரிசீவ்ட்.
திட்டு வேணால் நிறைய டைம் வாங்கிருக்கேன்.
அப்ரிசியேஷன்ஸ் வாங்கினது
அப்ரிஷியேஷன்ஸ் ஸ்கூலில் படிக்கிறது சொல்லுவாங்க சார்.
படிக்கிறது சொல்லுவாங்க. இங்கே
இங்கே கிளாஸில்
ம்
என்ன வாங்கியிருக்கேன் சார்?
சிஆர்எஸ்ல எவ்வளோ வந்திருக்கு இப்போ?
சார் 449 சார்.
அப்போது எல்லா அப்ரிசியேஷன்ஸோடைய காம்பினேஷன் தான் அந்த மார்க்கு.
சரி சார்.
அப்போது உனக்கு தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் எந்த அப்ரிசியேஷனும் உனக்கு கொடுத்ததில்லை. சரி, லைஃப்பில். ஓகே, தேர்ட் கொஸ்டின் இஸ் ஒன் திங். இந்த ஒன் திங் இந்த லைனில் இல்லாட்டி இந்த வேலையை செஞ்சோம்னா போதுடா நிம்மதியாக இருப்பேன் நான் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு லைன், அப்படி ஏதாவது திங்கிங் இருக்கா
சார்?
ஏதோ ஒன்று மைண்ட் அது யோசிச்சிருக்கு, அதை சொல்கிறத இப்போ ட்ரை பண்ணுறேன், ஆனால் அது இப்போ டக்குன்னு வர மாட்டேங்குது.
சரி,
டு தேட் எக்ஸ்டென்ட் ஐம் ஹாப்பி. ஏதோ ஒன்று மைண்டில் ஃப்ளாஷ் ஆகிருக்கு, மின்னல் வெட்டின மாதிரி ஏதோ ஃப்ளாஷ் ஆகிருக்கு. சும்மா இந்த 3 கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கு பார்த்தியா? மெய் மறந்து நீ என்ன செய்கிற, உனக்கு கிடைச்ச பாராட்டு என்ன, இந்த ஒரு ஐடியா, விவேகானந்தர் சொன்ன மாதிரி டேக் ஒன் ஐடியா அண்ட் ஒர்க் ஃபார் இட் அப்படின்ட்டு. இந்த 3ஐயும் கம்பைன் பண்ணால் என்னது? சக்ஸஸா? கோலா? போத் ஆர் வெரி க்ளோஸ். எய்ம் கோல் கிட்டத்தட்ட அதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் மேலே.
ஃபியூச்சர். இந்த
வேர்டை நீங்கள் சொல்கிறீங்க இல்லையா, அந்த வேர்டை நீங்கள் அந்த வேர்ட் அதை நீங்கள் செஞ்சு முடிக்காமல் உங்கள் உயிர் போகாது. நீங்கள் எவ்வளோ இன்னும் கொஞ்சம்
Profession.
starts with the letter P, you're right. Purpose. உன் பர்பஸ் அது கோலு, எய்மு, சரீரம் சொன்ன மாதிரி சக்ஸஸ், ஆம்பிஷன் எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேலே. இப்போது ஃபஸ்ட்டு விஷயம் என்னென்னா, ஏய் போடா போய் சாப்பிடு அப்படின்ட்டு. அந்த மாதிரி கம்ப்யூட்டர் அவனுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்துருக்கு. இப்போ எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸ் அவனுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கு. யாரோ ஒருத்தர் வந்து சொல்லணும், போதும் நீ நோட்ஸ் எடுத்தது போய் சாப்பிடு ஆச்சா. அதே மாதிரி பரவாயில்லையே நீ பப்ளிக் ஸ்பீக்கிங்கில் பேசுகிற மாதிரி அதே மாதிரி இப்போ கம்ப்யூட்டரிங் நல்லா நீ பண்ணுற அப்படின்ட்டு அவங்க சித்தப்பா அவங்கள பாராட்டியிருக்காரு. யாரே தக்ஷிணா. ஸோ பாராட்டு. அப்புறம் கோடிங்கில் நான் நல்லா கான்சன்ட்ரேட் பண்ணால் நல்லா வருவேன்னு எனக்கு தோணுதா அப்படின்ட்டு. இப்போ இந்த 3 விஷயமும் அவனுக்கு கிடைச்சிருச்சா? ஸோ அவன் பர்பஸை கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டான், இவன் பர்பஸை கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டான். அந்த மாதிரி இந்த 3 கேள்விகளுக்கு நீ பதில் தேடினா உன் பர்பஸை நீ கண்டுபிடிச்சானா? பர்பஸை கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டு அப்படின்னா அதுதான் ஹெட் ஆஃப் த டிபார்ட்மெண்ட். அப்புறம் நம்ம +2 முடிச்சுட்டு என்ன பண்ண போகிறோங்கிறதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு மந்திரிகள். நீ ராஜாவை தேடி ஃபஸ்ட்டு கண்டுபிடி. ஆன்சர் தீஸ் கொஸ்டின்ஸ். இந்த 3 கொஸ்டின்ஸுக்கு ஆன்சர் கண்டுபிடிச்சு ஏதாவது ஒரு MS ஈவினிங் செஷனில் ஒரு ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் ஆகும். ஓகே, ரைட். யூ ஹேவ் எனி கொஸ்டின்ஸ் டு?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
So Vishwa, when, according to you, when do you expect to yourself to set a goal?
I expected from my
Because we
childhood.
keep postponing and it's not good. So when do you
It's not.
expect to?
In future, you are asking.
In future, yeah.
After completing my 12th standard, like
Oh. Long time, Vishwa. That's a long time.
Because once you complete your 12th grade, then a lot of people will talk to you. You'll get so many options.
Distractions.
I mean, you will get so many options.
அப்புறம் அந்த ஆக்சிடென்ட் தான் நடக்கும் யாரோ
So
ஒருத்தர் சொல்லி
Yes, sir.
You see, Dakshin, with whatever I have understood about him, he was not able to choose up a goal because during the time of thinking about the goal, very bad thing happened in his life. His father fell very terribly sick. அவங்க அப்பாவுக்கு ரொம்ப உடம்பு சரியில்லாம போயிடுச்சு. ஸோ அந்த டைமில் வந்துக்கிட்டு he got jolted. He really got jolted. And அதுலேருந்து மீண்டு வரதுக்கு ஒரு 1.5 வருஷம் ஆயிடுச்சு. அது போக கொரோனா டைம். தட் இஸ் வை ஒரு ராங் டேர்ன் எடுத்து வந்து நிற்கிறான்.
Yes, sir.
ஸோ கரெக்ட் தான் நான் சொல்கிறேன். ஸோ அதை நீ இப்போ யோசிச்சு நீ என்னால் கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். Okay. Harin, do you have a question? Please.
So we have been taking the computer science group
Yes, ma'am.
as myself, and I have expected about I will be going to the same computer science department at the end of my public exam, and after that my father told that triple E is whether you can choose this both. Told, and I searched about it, and the ECE was better, and it has more scope, and it also related to the computer science department. So whether you have you are thinking that I will be going to the same stream, that mainstream CS, or any other streams?
now I have thinking about like going in this way now, but another thinking is my relatives, someone will help some ideas like that.
But it's a very big bad idea. Da.
Yeah,
They'll be
Vishwa,
all
if
confused.
you
and confused.
choose your undergraduate course, if you choose a course that you like, then maybe in college, as days go on, you will get a goal. But make sure to choose a course for you in UG
Okay.
in next year. If you
Okay.
choose the right course, then it's okay. Whatever you like to study.
You can turn up your life, and which is your interested thing, that stream you can be, as you have interest in vehicles means automobile, and some mechanical, or that like means
No, I'm not interested in the automobile like that. No,
You're interested in computer.
Yes, no, I'm interested in
then you
computer.
can go to the computer.
Go for mainstream CS, and then when you're into it, when you're into your college life, you'll meet people and you'll automatically get a lot of ideas. But choose your course wisely, okay?
Yes, no.
You should not regret your course later. Like, why did I choose this? You should not feel like that. Choose
Okay.
the right thing. Choose something that you like to study.
Yes, no.
இந்த டிஸ்கஷனில் ரிவீல் ஆனது கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் இன்ஜினியரிங் நீ எடுத்தீங்கன்னா கரெக்டாக இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிறது இந்த டிஸ்கஷனில் இப்போ ரிவீல் ஆயிருக்கு. ஸோ கோல்டில் வந்துட்டு ஒரு 10% இப்போ கண்டுபிடிச்சாச்சு. பள்ளிக்கொண்ட ஸ்கூலில் இருக்க அதே கேம்பஸில் இருக்கிற ஹரிரன் அப்போ செகண்ட் இயர் வரும்போது நீ கம்ப்யூட்டர் சயின்ஸ் இன்ஜினியரிங் டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டில் அவனை நீ பார்ப்ப, அவனை இசி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டில் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி. ஸோ இப்போவே அந்த ஒரு சின்ன சீட் உன் மைண்டில் வச்சுக்கோ. லெட்ஸ் see how far it develops.
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you, Vishwa. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is the first half of the session that I planned today for these 3 students who are attending the weekday classes. Now, every day what I have planned is in the first half we will have a presentation or a kind of a discussion mode session conduction, and then a small tournament like hockey or cricket or soccer or whatever it may be, because you 3 are very good sports aspirant, and given the fact that you all the 3 are going to have boxing classes, so having a sports support will also be really good. அப்படி தான் நான் பிளான் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். நீங்கள் என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க? நல்ல ஐடியாவா? Right. Okay. Fine. சரி, now let's discuss something about the boxing class. So விஸ்வா வந்து 7:30 மணிக்கு வீட்டில் இருக்கணுமாமா. 7:30 மார்னிங்
Oh, school.
ஸ்கூல்.
Oh, okay, sir.
நல்லா கவனிங்க, பாக்ஸிங் கிளாஸஸ் மார்னிங்கும் வைக்க முடியும், ஈவினிங்கும் வைக்க முடியும். ஸோ உங்களுக்கு எது ப்ரிஃபரபிள் அப்படிங்கிறத ஃபர்ஸ்ட்டு சொல்லுங்கள். ஈவினிங் வைக்கிறதா இருந்ததுன்னா செவ்வாய், புதன், வியாழன், வெள்ளிக்கிழமை நம்ம ஜூனியர் செக்ஷன்லாம் வந்துடுவாங்க. ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு வீக்கெண்ட் கிளாஸஸ். ஸோ செவ்வாய் புதன் வியாழன் 3 நாள் வந்துட்டு நம்ம ஈவினிங் வைக்கிறது அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு சாய்ஸ் இருக்குது. நோ எங்கள் பேரண்ட்ஸ் மார்னிங் தான் நீ ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்கிறாங்க அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி இருந்துச்சுன்னா மார்னிங்கும் வைக்கலாம். ஸோ ஃபஸ்ட்டு நீங்கள் நான் கேட்குற கேள்வி நீங்கள் சொல்ல வேண்டிய பதில். நான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு கேட்குற கேள்வி, when do you want the boxing class, evening or morning?
Better routine for get up.
getting up early?
early morning.
So எப்போ classes?
ஒரு 4 days per week வைக்கலான்ட்டு இருக்கேன். ஃபஸ்ட்டு உங்களுடைய ஃபிசிக் எப்படி ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணுது அப்படின்னு பார்த்துட்டு.
Okay. Morning at time sir.
அதான் இப்போ நான் டைமிங் நீ வரதுக்கு முன்னாடி தான் பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தேன். உனக்கும் ஹரியரனுக்கும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. ஏன்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்துட்டு யூ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் எனிவேர் டு கோ அன்டில் யுவர் காலேஜ் செஷன். பை த வே டிசியில் ஏதாவது கான்க்ரீட் டேட் ஏதாவது சொல்லியிருக்காங்களா?
ஆகஸ்ட்னு சொன்னாங்க சார். இன்னும் அப்புறமா கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க சார்.
சரி, ஓகே. அப்போது வி ஹேவ் த ஃபுல் மந்த் ஆஃப் ஜூலை இல்லையா? நான் சொல்கிறது அப்படியே பிக்சர் பண்ணிகிட்டே வாங்க மைண்டில். 7:30 மணிக்கு இவன் வீட்டில் இருந்தால் தான் 8:20க்கு பஸ்ஸில் கிளம்புறேன்னு சொல்கிறான் விஸ்வா. ஸோ 7:30க்கு வீட்டில் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னம்னா we will have to complete our drill session by 7:20 here. 7:20க்கு இங்கே முடியும்.
That's a good idea.
6
6
ஓகேவா?
Yes.
அப்போ 6 to 6:15 ஒரு ரீஸ்டோரேஷன் டைம் கொடுப்போம். 6லேருந்து 6:15. அந்த 6:15 வரைக்கும் நம்ம வைக்கும். அந்த இதில் 6:15க்கு வரீங்க. ஓகே, அப்படி இப்படி எல்லாருமே பைக்கில் வரீங்க. தட்ஸ் அ வெரி பிக் அட்வான்டேஜ். தக்ஷன் அம்மா நீ பைக்கில் வரேன்னு சொன்னாங்க. இஸ் இட் கோயிங் டு பி பாசிபிள் ஃபார் யூ? வந்துடுறீங்களா? அப்போ எல்லாருமே வந்துட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா நம்ம ஒரு ஜாக் போயிட்டு வரலாம். ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஷூஸ் போட்டு வந்துட்டீங்க அப்படின்னம்னா நான் ஒரு ஜாக் போயிட்டு வரலாம். நான் என்ன நினச்சேன்னா நீங்களாம் வரதுக்கு முன்னாடியே ஜிம்முக்கு போயிட்டு வந்துடலான்னு பார்த்தேன். பட் 6 மணிக்கு நீங்கள் வரும்போது அதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஜிம்முக்கு போயிட்டு பண்ணுற அளவுக்கு அவ்வளோ அது இல்லை. ஸோ ஐ வில் ஹாவ் டு கம்பைன் மை ஒர்க் அவுட் அலாங் வித் யூ. ஸோ ஒரு ஜாக் போயிட்டு வந்த பிறகு அதுக்கப்புறம் புஷ்அப்ஸ் ட்ரில் இருக்கும். ஸோ புஷ்அப்ஸ் ட்ரில் அண்ட் நக்கிள் புஷ்அப்ஸ் எடுக்கணும். நக்கிள் புஷ்அப்ஸ் வந்து நீங்கள் க்ளவுஸ் போட்டு எடுங்க ஃபஸ்ட்டு. அது புஷ்அப்ஸ் முடிக்கிறோமா? புஷ்அப்ஸ் முடித்ததுக்கப்புறம் பேசிக் பஞ்சிங் ஸ்டைல்ஸ் நான் சொல்லித்தருவேன். ஃபஸ்ட்டு காற்றுல தான் பஞ்ச் பண்ணுவீங்க. பஞ்ச் பண்ணி ரிஸ்ட்டில் அப்புறம் இந்த எல்போலெல்லாம் பவர் வந்த பிறகு பஞ்ச் பேடு நான் வச்சுருப்பேன். அந்த பேட் நான் வாங்கிடுறேன். அந்த பஞ்ச் பேடில் என் கையில் பஞ்ச் பண்ணுவீங்க. தட் வில் பி a பிக் பேட் அண்ட் நான் ட்ரில் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருவேன். என் கையில் நீங்கள் பஞ்ச் பண்ணுவீங்க. ஒரு 3 நாள் 4 நாள் பண்ணிவிட்டு உங்களுக்கு அந்த டே டைமில் எப்படி பாடி ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணுதுன்னு எனக்கு சொல்லுங்கள். அங்கிள் எனக்கு இந்த இடத்துல வலிக்குது, இந்த மாதிரி எனக்கு பயங்கரமாக அந்த இடத்துல வெட்டின மாதிரி வலிக்குது அப்படின்ட்டு. இதெல்லாம் பாசிபிள் பாக்ஸிங் எக்ஸ் என்கிட்ட சொல்கிறவங்க. இந்த இடம் ஃபுல்லாக எனக்கு வாங்க, இந்த இடம் ஃபுல்லாக எனக்கு வந்துட்டு பெயின் ஆகுது அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரிலாம் சொன்னீங்க அப்படின்னா அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி நம்ம ட்ரில்லை மாற்றலாம். ஸோ தென் 4 or 5 days அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நம்ம போகிறப்போ நம்மளுக்கு என்ன ஆகுன்னா பைசெப்ஸ் அண்ட் ட்ரைசெப்ஸ் அண்ட் செஸ்ட் அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம என்ஹான்ஸ் பண்ணணும். அதுக்கு வந்துக்கிட்டு நம்ம கர்லாக்கிட்ட சுற்றணும். அப்புறம் பின்னாடி வந்துக்கிட்டு ஒரு புல்லப்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு சின்ன பார் வச்சுருக்கேன். அங்கே நம்ம புல்லப்ஸ் அடிக்கணும். அடிச்சுட்டு கடைசியில் தான் நம்ம பஞ்சிங் போடுவோம். பஞ்சிங் வெறும் 8 நிமிஷமோ 10 நிமிஷமோ தான். ஆனால் அதுக்கு நீங்கள் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுறது வந்துட்டு ஒரு 35 நிமிஷம். ஸோ 6லேருந்து 6:15க்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணோம்னா ஒரு 7:30க்கு இங்கே முடித்தா கரெக்டாக இருக்குமா, இல்லை 7:20க்கு முடியும்?
7:30 நீ அங்கே இருக்கணும் வீட்டில், அப்போ தான் கரெக்டாக.
சார் 7:30 இல்லை 7:40 அந்த மாதிரி அந்த டைம்
ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லைல்ல?
இல்லைங்க சார்.
சரி, அப்போ எனக்கு
பைக்கில் வரங்காட்டி ப்ராப்ளம்.
ரைட். எனக்கு உங்களோட ஒரு 1.5 மணி நேரம் தேவை. கண்டிப்பாக 1.5 மணி நேரம் இருக்கணும். ஏன்னா 3 பேரும் இப்போ உனக்கு நான் பஞ்சிங் பேட் வச்சு உனக்கு ப்ராக்டிஸ் கொடுக்கும்போது இவனு 2 பேரும் சும்மா இருப்பாங்க. அப்புறம் அவன் அப்படி தான் வர முடியும். ஸோ அதுக்கு வந்துக்கிட்டு ஒரு ஆளுக்கு 1/2 an hourங்கிற அந்த ஃபோக்கஸ் வேணும். 3 பேருன்ட்டு நான் மித்ராவை கம்பல் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். அவளுக்கு ஹோம்ஒர்க் இல்லைன்னா ஷி வில் ஆல்சோ ஜாயின்ஸ். அப்போ 4 பேருக்கு 1.5 மணி நேரம் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி வரும். ஓகே, ரைட். ஸோ இதுக்கு நீயும் விஸ்வா 2 பேரும் ஃபீஸ் பற்றி கேட்டு எனக்கு சொல்லுங்கள். ஸோ ஷூஸ் போட்டு வாங்க. ஷூஸ் இருந்துச்சுன்னா ஷூஸ் போட்டு வாங்க. ஏன்னா இனிஷியல் ஜாகிங் அப்படிங்கிறது டைம் இல்லைன்னா நம்ம இங்கேயே ஜம்பிங் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸ்கிப்பிங் ரோப் வேணாலும் வாங்கிக்கலாம், நம்ம ஜம்பிங் இங்கே பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஆனால் இருக்குல்ல, அப்போ நீ கொண்டு வா. நீங்கள் கொண்டு வர வேண்டியது ஒரு இங்கே தண்ணி இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் நீங்கள் நம்பாது. பாக்ஸிங் டிரைலிங் ஒர்க் அவுட் கிட் பேக் ஒன்று கொண்டு வாங்க. இல்லை எந்த பேக்காக இருந்தாலும் சரி, தேர் இஸ் நோ நெசிட்டி. அந்த ஃபேன்சியாக இதெல்லாம் அதெல்லாம் வாங்குன்னு செலவெல்லாம் பண்ணாதீங்க. இருக்கிறத வச்சு யூஸ் த பெஸ்ட் யூட்டிலைசேஷன் ஆஃப் மேக் த பெஸ்ட் யூட்டிலைசேஷன் ஆஃப் ரிசோர்ஸஸ். தண்ணி பாட்டில் கண்டிப்பாக வேணும். அதுவும் நான் சொல்லும்போது தான் குடிக்கணும். ஒவ்வொரு சிப்பாக தான் நீங்கள் குடிக்கணும். ஃபுல்லாக கல்ப் அடிக்கக்கூடாது. தண்ணி பாட்டில் வேணும், ஒரு டவல் வேணும். நல்லா வேர்க்கும், அதுக்கு டவல் வேணும். அப்புறம் யோகா மேட் இருக்கு நம்மள்கிட்ட. ஹரியன், லக்ஷன், விஸ்வா இல்லை. தம்பிக்கிட்ட உங்கள்கிட்ட 2 இருக்கா? தம்பிகிட்ட இருக்கான்னு பாரு. அப்படி இல்லைன்னா எக்ஸ்ட்ரா. ஏன்னா இந்த வயிற்றுக்கும் இடுப்புக்கும் எக்ஸசைஸ் நம்ம கீழே தான் பண்ணணும். நம்ம இங்கே தான் பண்ணுவோம். ஏன்னா சன்லைட் வேணும். ஒரு வேளை சலசலன்னு மழை பெஞ்சிட்டு இருந்துச்சுன்னா உள்ளே போய்க்கலாம், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. ஓகே. பட் உள்ளேயும் வந்துட்டு டைல்ஸ் இருக்கும்போது நீ இது பண்ணும்போது கொஞ்சம் வழுக்கும். ஸோ அதுக்கு தான் யோகா மேட் கேட்கும். பாரு, முடிஞ்சுன்னா பாரு. அப்படி இல்லாட்டி நம்ம அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம் ஏதாச்சும். ஏன்னா மித்ராவோடது ஸ்கூலில் கொண்டு போய் சப்மிட் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஏன்னா யோகா டெய்லி இருக்கிறதுனால, இல்லாட்டி அதை நான் யூஸ் பண்ணிடுவேன். ஸோ யோகா மேட், டவல், ஷூஸ் அண்ட் வாட்டர் பாட்டில். க்ளவுஸ் வந்து தக்ஷன் ஆல்ரெடி வாங்கிட்டான். ஏன்ட்ட 2 க்ளவுஸ் இருக்குது. நீங்கள் க்ளவுஸ்க்கு இப்போ செலவு பண்ணாதீங்க. ஃபஸ்ட்டு அந்த 2 க்ளவுஸை மாற்றி போடுங்க. நான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு டெமான்ஸ்ட்ரேட் பண்ணிவிட்டு கழட்டி கொடுத்துட்றேன். கையை நல்லா தொடச்சிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் போட்டுக்கோங்க. போட்டு நீங்கள் இது பண்ணுங்கள். அப்புறம் நீங்கள் க்ளவுஸ் வாங்குறது பற்றி யோசிங்க. ஓகே. Any questions? And we are starting from tomorrow. Dakshin?
Yes, sir.
நாளைக்கு
நான் போய் கேட்டேன். அங்க அவைலபிள் இல்லை.
இது அந்த பேடா?
ஆமாம்.
க்ளவுஸ் வாங்கிட்டீங்களா?
க்ளவுஸ் வந்து அவனோட சைஸ் கேட்டாங்க. நான் வீட்டுக்கு போகும்போது வாங்கிட்டு போய்.
நீங்கள் வாங்கிட்டு போங்க. பேட் அவைலபிளானு பரவாயில்ல, நான் பார்த்துக்கிறேன். நாளைக்கே பேடெல்லாம் இருப்பேன். நாளைக்கு இதிலே வச்சு பண்ணிக்கலாம். நான் பேட் ஆன்லைனில் போட்டுருக்கேன். ஸோ நாளைக்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம்ல. ஏன்னா இவங்க 2 பேரும் பைக்கில் வந்துடுவாங்க. அவரையும் பைக்கில். ஓகே, ரைட். சரி, இப்போ இன்னும் எவ்வளோ டைம் இருக்குங்க?
7:13 minutes.
7:13 ஆயிடுச்சு ஆல்ரெடி. இல்லை உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது டைம் இருக்கா? இல்லையா?
இல்லை,
டைம் லிமிட்டேஷன் ஒன்றும் இல்லை. சரி, உட்காருங்க. நீங்கள் உள்ளே உட்காரியா? லைட் போட்டு விட்டு ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லையா? சரி, இப்போது திஸ் இஸ் ரிகார்டிங் அவர் டுமாரோஸ் கிளாஸ். 4 பேர் இன்வால்வ் பண்ணி ஒரு ஸ்கிட் ஐடியா நீங்கள் ரெடி பண்ணுவோம். என்னையும் உள்ளே சேர்க்கணும். பண்ணிடலாம்ல?
ஸ்கிப்பிங்னாலே நீங்கள் உள்ள வந்து வருது சார்.
ஏன்னா ஹீ நீட்ஸ் a lot of interpersonal speaking skill.
So Sanjay Rayan, sir?
ஏண்டா
சஞ்சய் ரேகனோட அப்பா. அவனை பிரத்யேகமாக வச்சு நேற்று யூடியூப்ல ஒரு வீடியோவே போட்டேன். அது நீ பார்த்துருந்தீங்க.
வாட்ஸ்அப்ல பத்தி ஒரு வீடியோ
நான் பார்த்தேன்.
அதை சஞ்சய் ரேகனுக்காகவே போட்டது.
ஓகே சார்.
அது வந்து சஞ்சய் ரேகனுக்கு யூஸ் ஆச்சோ இல்லையா, எனக்கு யூடியூப்ல நிறைய பேர் கமெண்ட் பண்ணாங்க, சார் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் என் பையனுக்கு நான் சொல்கிறேன். ஆனால் அந்த விளக்கனுக்கு அது யூஸ் ஆச்சுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல.
அவன் எப்போ வரான் சார்?
சனி ஞாயிறு அவனுக்கு சண்டே கிளாஸ் சொல்லி கேட்டிருக்காங்க.